There's a theme going on right now with that Browns locker room, and it's a theme you don't want. It's not a theme of we got to get ready to go for the playoffs or we're gearing up for this. It's themes of guys thinking about their future, not playing for the Cleveland Browns. It started last week with Myles Garrett. He brings up the comments he's not going through a rebuild. And of course, when Joel Bitonio gets up there yesterday, questions are you done? You gonna hang it up? And we'll hear some of what Joel had to say yesterday, but it's that unfortunate theme where you can't focus on the 2 games you have left. You got guys basically counting practice and wondering if they're going to be on this team moving forward. And these are 2 stalwart, all-pro. One's a for sure Hall of Famer. I think Joel Bitonio's got to look. And we got to have conversations about them not being a member of the Cleveland Browns moving forward. It's a frustrating part of this whole season. It's part of the reason why the Browns have been here just wasting away prime careers of really good players. It comes to the forefront again with Joel Bitonio. I got a strong take on what they need to do with Joel Bitonio and what I think they should do with Joel Bitonio. We'll get to that coming up. We'll still get ready to go, man. Let's knock the Dolphins out of this thing. We got them Sunday, 4 o'clock at the stadium. We'll get you ready for that game. We got the Friday report card. We'll get to our NFL picks. Already a couple of games in. Getting ready to go for Saturday games. Cavs! Got to wait late. 9 o'clock out there against the Denver Nuggets. So we'll get a little Cavs parlay, Ryan. I got to pay for some presents. So we'll get the parlay rolling for that. We'll get to timeout. We got the morning update. We'll get to that grid as well on a holiday edition. We're back at it right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. We're back live at you. Appreciate everybody joining us. Hopefully you had a fantastic holiday week. You know, this one's so weird, Ryan, because it was on Wednesday? And then with New Year's and all that, how many people do you know, they're like, oh, I'm just off the whole week. You know, it just take the whole week. So it's kind of been a little weird. You're ready to go for the weekend. Busy weekend ahead, but hopefully everybody had a fantastic holiday. Ryan, belated Merry Christmas to you. Hopefully Santa brought you some really nice items. What was the one item you got?
It's good to see you, Matthew. Missed a whole week with you.
I know.
I didn't like that very much.
Yeah,
that was like coal to me. It was a good time. I'm not a big holiday guy personally myself, but it was okay. It was a nice little time off.
What was the best gift you got? Was the gift
I got a really nice cologne that I wanted.
It's funny.
I figured that has to be the reason why I can't get women, right? Because I don't have cologne.
I don't know.
It couldn't be anything else, right? It couldn't be my personality or...
Just get a different cologne. That you can change the cologne.
No,
a
I
lot
got a nice
easier.
Burberry
Your
one.
personality.
I got a nice Burberry cologne.
Oh, okay. I used to wear cologne a lot. I grew up in the Axe era. You know, Axe body spray.
Yeah.
I don't even want to. You're gonna make so much fun of me, but I've told this story before. I just don't really care. There was a flavor, whatever you guys scent of Axe or whatever, that I loved when I was in college, and they discontinued it. Ryan, I went on eBay and I bought a case of it. I bought a case of 12 cans.
Was that before Amazon Prime?
Yeah, I was on eBay. Well, no, it's discontinued. I had to find it. Somebody was stockpiling it, and I did that once. It's long gone. I'm not a big cologne guy. Because it's also like when somebody wears too much cologne, you walk into a room and their essence is still there. Not really for me. This is how old I am. I got a foot scrubbing bath. One of those little things you put your feet in.
Yeah, I got my mom that one year.
Yeah, I got that. So that was probably my big gift. Had a great time with the family, great time with the kids. So hopefully everybody out there, you had a fantastic holiday. We appreciate you joining us. And we'll take you through the next couple hours getting ready to go for the weekend. All right, we're up on Twitter X, at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow there. Check us out on Instagram, Big Play. We're also up on YouTube, driven by our great friends at Fairway Ford. Go get that gift at Fairway Ford. We'll tell you about that Christmas sale coming up with them, fairwayfordohio.com. So the Browns back at it yesterday as they gear up for the Dolphins. And Joe Bitonio speaks. And, of course, there was that underlying question about Bitonio, regardless of what Myles Garrett was ever going to say, of does Joel want to come back? Is he ready to walk this on off? And, it's an unfortunate trend of guys like our friend Josh Cribbs and Phil Dawson and Joe Hayden and certainly Joe Thomas. You're in this era, again, of guys that you have wasted their career. And I've always, one thing that always stuck with me is you didn't have to worry about left tackle. You didn't have to worry about left guard for how long. You haven't had to worry about defensive end for 7 years. You could focus on other positions, but they never got the one right that they had to get. And you look at these guys, that is not an easy thing for Joel Bitonio to sit there and reflect on his career and say that he's won. Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't even at that Pittsburgh game that they won. He got back for the KC game. He's played in one playoff game. He's a multiple-time All-Pro. He's going to be a borderline Hall of Famer. And the Browns have wasted his career. And I appreciate Joel coming out yesterday and saying, I don't want to go anywhere else. I want to finish this out here. Good for him. That's why Joe Thomas didn't go to the Broncos. He wanted to finish this out. You know, Myles Garrett is in a different situation. He still has football to be played. And I'm sure that that's on his mind about going somewhere else. Here's the thing about Joel. And it kind of goes for Myles too. Once you start thinking about it, there's no other recourse of action. The fact that Joel Bitonio is at this point and he's talking about talking to his family, he's talking about the toll that it's taken on his body, I think we're done here. And that pains me to say that. I don't, that's now another hole on this roster where you sit there and you got to find this and you got to find that. And the problem, it also comes back to what? I don't really care who's playing left guard if I don't have a quarterback that can actually take advantage of having the roster that the Browns had. I feel bad for Joel being stuck in this. He deserves better. And he said it's not going to be about the Browns' chances of winning. It's going to be how his body feels. Well, then what else did he say? He goes, you wake up a little different on Monday when you win. Those, my dad calls them ass aches. When those ass aches, when you win, they're not quite as bad. You know, you're willing to jump in the cold tub and the ice plunge when you win the game. You put your body out there. There is no, you lost this game, so you don't get it beat up as much, right? No, sometimes you actually get beat up worse in losses. You come out of losses feeling much worse than you do, obviously, after a win. So he's putting it out there every single week, going through knee injuries and elbow injuries, all this, and they're still losing. I wouldn't want to keep going through that. And listen, born and bred Browns fan, if I was Joel, I'd say, you know what? I do want to go somewhere else. My heart will always be in Cleveland, but I want to go somewhere else where I can experience what it's like to come down the stretch to try to win playoff games and know that I can contribute towards that. I'm sure that's what's on Myles' mind as well. The thing about Bitonio, though, right now, the Browns should shut him down. If it is true that Joel's biggest marker in this whole thing is going to be how his body feels, why put him out there for 2 more games where he could risk further injury, get into the offseason rehabbing injuries instead of trying to take care of himself? I guess my only real glimmer of hope in this thing is that you sit Joel Bitonio down so he feels good trying to get into the offseason. It's never that easy. It's how does he look at his teammates? You know, he's on the same path as Joe Thomas, right? He doesn't want to sit out games. I know he's missed games and it's not quite the streak as Joe Thomas, but he doesn't want to come out. But honestly, the best thing for them to do is sit down with Joel and say, on the offshoot that you're going to come back, which I don't think that is betting favorite right now. I would say Joel's going to retire. The better option to try to get him to come back next year is actually to sit him down. And I know he's not going to do that. I know he's going to want to play. But hearing those comments just brings back that you have so much work to do on this roster. You have so many pieces where I sit here and I try to tell myself it's just the quarterback. Why? Because that's easy. It's one guy. Ryan laughs, right? It's one guy. As opposed to finding 6, 7, 8 other viable above average starters. When in reality, that's what the Browns are going to have to do. And I try hard not to keep bringing up the trade and the draft picks that you missed, but don't you look at this team and say, I'd really like 3 first-round picks at different positions smattered around this roster. That'd be nice, but you don't have them. You get one back. Whether it is the quarterback, which obviously there's some big games for that this weekend. Be watching a lot of those on the scoreboard on where you're at with the draft pick. Go ahead and pull it up, Ryan. 5 still?
5.
So here's where you're at. Who are the 4 ahead of you, by the way?
Giants, Patriots, Jaguars, Titans.
Okay. You got New England playing the Chargers. Chargers will not lose that game. They need that.
Jaguars and Titans play each other.
And then the Jags and the Titans play one another. So one of them will be not.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
As long as we don't win these next 2 games, which, yeah, right, we'll be drafting top 4 for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Giants control their own destiny. They lose out, they get the number 1 pick, no questions asked.
So we're big Titans fans this week.
I prefer the Titans because they might take a quarterback.
Right.
Jags are not going to take a quarterback.
Right.
So you'd prefer the Jags to win that game this weekend very much. It is in Jacksonville.
No. You want the Titans to win.
Oh, that's what I mean. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. You want the Titans to win bad.
If the Titans win Sunday, Cam Ward is a Brown. Unless somebody trades up.
Somebody might trade up. And maybe that's the Browns. I don't know. It's not that bad going up 2 spots, 1 spot if you really needed it. And I've thought more about that as the week has gone on. I hate being in this position again to sit there and try to appease Myles Garrett or appease Joel Bitonio, right? Because you're at this point where you basically need to prove to them, and I think this is a bigger issue with like the team. You need to prove to some of these guys, yeah, we want you to come back. They're not going to get excited for Kirk Cousins. They're not going to get over the moon about Jameis or DTR. Cam Ward, maybe. And is that enough to go to these guys and say, give us one more chance? One more chance that they could create the magic that Jaden Daniels has created, that Bo Nix has created. Caleb Williams. But you can at least have something to grab onto.
I think it would be, Matt.
You think Cam Ward would be enough to get Joel Bitonio to want to come back to the Cleveland Browns next year?
Joel, I don't know about Joel because I think he might already be at a point of no return where his body's given all he can get. But in terms of Myles, right? I mean, listen, Myles Garrett knows better than any of us that Deshaun Watson sucks. Okay,
we did that last week every day. He was fighting with himself.
He sees him play every day.
Right?
He's known since they pulled up to the Greenbrier that Deshaun Watson sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, DTR was a late round pick. The chances of that working out, snowball's chance in hell. Jameis Winston, career backup. You get here a top 4 pick, a first-round graded quarterback. I think that's enough. I'd like to think that that Myles Garrett has enough faith in Kevin Stefanski. You give him a good quarterback that can work in his system, that'll work out. I think that'll be enough.
Yeah, and that's where I'm not saying Joel's got 5 more years to play. And I guess the problem with him is he knows that too. Do you want to go all in for just one more season to try to grab that? That's why, like, again, if I was him, I'd start saying, like, maybe you guys need to find me a way out of here. You know, trade, get a nice little draft pick, but send me somewhere nice to play one more season. And the Browns already do a great job. Like, he doesn't practice a lot during the week. Like, they do everything they can to get him to the games on Sunday. But the problem is Joel's heart in this whole thing. He is a beloved player. He will always be a beloved player here in the city of Cleveland. It's like, dude, like, welcome to life, man. You wanted to work so hard here. You want it to be perfect. You want it to be this. You want it to be here with the teammates that you've been with for years, for the fan base that have bought your jerseys and all that kind of stuff. And I hate to tell you, man, it's not your fault. It's not Joel's fault. It's not Myles' fault. It's other people that have screwed this franchise up. And they got to sit here, stand there, holding the bag. Like, is it enough to just say, well, we just drafted this high rookie? Then you start the battle of, do you start them week 1? Like, those are all things for the offseason. Those are all things we get ready to go for next year, even if you get in a position of taking Cam Ward, if that is it. Or somebody shocks everybody and he goes 1 and Shedeur Sanders is sitting there. I don't know. You know, trust me, I think Shedeur is going 1, but I don't know that for sure. And you don't have other options, you know? God, Ryan, you did it. You did the mock draft. You had Jalen Milroe in the 2nd round.
I'm just saying my mock draft was pretty good. Who did you want me to take instead of Denzel Burke?
I would rather have Travion Henderson. I think Denzel Burke's cost himself some money this year. I don't know if I really want him at corner. But
I'm not a big running back guy.
Ryan did the mock this week, excuse me. And you had Jalen Milroe. Again, is that something you can go and appease to Joel and Myles and sit there and say, well, we're going to do this? Plus, you're going to have these meetings with these guys way before anything tangible actually happens. You know, Joel, and I know we get argued about this with the Deshaun Watson thing. Nothing has to happen now. Nothing has to happen in a month. Joel could do nothing. He could go home and relax. He doesn't need, there's no drop dead date. I'm sure there's a money component about when he wants to retire to get that money off the cap or whatever. You know, Miles, yeah, there's a trade type of situation or free agency and all that. There's no drop dead date that these guys have got to have their answer of what they're doing. But the Browns are going to have to sit down with them in 2 weeks when the season is done, have their exit meetings, and at least have some sort of plan. And I thought about this. What are they going to tell Joel Bitonio? Joel Bitonio is sitting there very clearly thinking about retirement. And I could make the case, once you start thinking about it, that's it. That's it. And I'm not yelling at him. Like, again, his body he doesn't want to do this anymore. He's putting his body out there every single week. Eventually, it all comes to an end. He's sitting there thinking about retiring. What is your pitch?
Well, okay.
What's your pitch?
Assuming Joel has 1 year left after this. I mean, what are you going to say? Max
let's
2?
start with this. Let's say he actually truly is 50-50. Let's
Okay.
live in that world for a second that he
Okay.
has not made his decision, that he is truly 50-50. Take away what I said about him leaning that way. Let's say he's 50-50. You and I are going to sit down as the contingent of the Browns. What do you think gets him back?
Am I being truthful and honest to him? Because I don't think the Browns are very good at that. I don't think the Browns, that's not their strong suit.
What? That's a shot on a Friday. In the holidays, different where you'll just rip a shot at 9:07 in the morning. You're like, that's the holidays. Screw it. That in the airport, early season.
So am I being honest to Joel, or am I just going to feed him a crock of shit?
What's your end game? Is it to get him to come back, or is it to tell him the truth?
I mean, I don't know. I depend. I'm not a scumbag. I'll tell him the truth.
Let's operate on truth.
All
Let's
right.
operate that you're going to lay out what you really plan on doing and what you really hope to accomplish this offseason. What are you telling Joel Bitonio?
I'll tell him he's a smart guy. Listen, he's been around football. He knows it. I mean, there's one of two routes you can go down. And actually you can combine them both. Hear me out, right?
Sure.
I'm going to be in the top 4 selection. We're going to draft Shador Cam if we're able to, okay? At that point, you have a rookie quarterback who might be our best option still. There's a chance we can get to the playoffs, play some meaningful football here late in December, hopefully January, ultimate goal February. But listen, that's a stretch, right? I mean, Jaden Daniels can only do so much. No rookie's going to the Super Bowl. It's just not happening. Or we go down the route of we're going to get Kirk Cousins and hope this works out, but that ceiling is probably capped with Kirk Cousins. It's probably capped to another wild card game.
Maybe.
And that's going to be the plan for either next year or 2 years, but by that time, Joel's done.
You and I are on the same page with this. If we were sitting down with Joel Bitonio right now, the thing they have to do is admit Deshaun Watson's not the answer. I don't know if that's enough to appease Joel to just say, we don't know what we're going to do, but I know what we're not going to do, and that's run that guy back.
I thought you said they won't say that, though.
That's the crux of the argument. That's the problem. I don't think they can say that.
Why
because,
not?
I don't know, because that's what I'm saying. Like, that's when that report came out from Mary Kay, and they said they still got options, or they still might run him back. If they just, and again, you're going to sit down with Barry and Stefanski and maybe Deep Podesta, and it's just Joel Bitonio. And you sit there with Joel and say, do not tell anybody what we're about to tell you, but the truth is, we know Deshaun Watson is cooked. We know that. We are going to fully admit that to you in this meeting. And just, you have got to have, don't laugh, faith in us that we will fix it. But nothing will get fixed here until they admit that Deshaun Watson is not going to be a part of this. If I was Joel Bitonio, and if at least I got that portion of it, I would think about coming back. Because if I sit in that meeting and they go, if I was Joel, I'd sit down. What are you doing with Deshaun? This is an honest conversation where that's not leaving this room. Sit down and ask, what are you doing with Deshaun? And if you hear any answer other than he is not in our plans, go ahead and give me that retirement paperwork. I'm going to sign that right here and now.
Well, also, here's the thing. If Joel's sitting down and saying, I'm only coming back next year if I think I have a realistic chance of going to the Super Bowl, do you think that's too extreme of a goal that he would personally have for himself?
No, I don't. No.
So then you're retiring.
Yeah.
Because there's quite literally no road in the next 2 years, which at that point, Joel will be, 32? He'll be done. Why not retire?
I think he might be older.
Why not retire? You're not going to the playoffs next year unless Cam Ward, Cam Ward, that works out, or Kirk Cousins pulls a rabbit out of his hat with Stefanski. At that point, I'm retiring. There's no point.
So because on that, wouldn't Kirk Cousins be the best option?
No.
For just for the 1 year flash in the pan, he is the best option.
To go to a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I would argue that you have a more likely chance with a Cam Ward to go to Super Bowl, and that chance is so infinitesimally small, but it's better than Kirk Cousins. The Browns roster is nowhere talented enough to go to Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins.
And that's
Nobody is.
I am 100% in the mode and the idea, do both. Go get Kirk Cousins, and then if you can still draft Cam Ward, do it.
You absolutely can. Those 2 things don't contradict each other.
Do it. And maybe that's enough to get him to come back. And the thing is, relative of okay, Joe Bitonio is a great player, and I love him a lot, and I'll forever love him for being a Cleveland Brown. The play has gone down because he's gotten older and he's gotten hurt. Welcome to the NFL. I don't know too many 33-year-old guys out there still doing it like they were when they were 27, okay? So even if the Browns wanted to cut it that way, and I'm not saying they would ever do this publicly, and I don't think they'd ever do it with Joe Bitonio, but the numbers, the analytics that they love to run would tell you, yeah, we don't need a 33-year-old guard around here anymore.
Yeah, if you could
draft
one.
Zach Zinter, you know what that was all about. Like,
that's the problem. The Browns can't
cut
draft.
It that way. It's not all doom and gloom. Miles is different. Miles is 1,000 times different in this conversation of a guy that is still in the prime of his career. Like, I don't want to think about it that way. I don't want to cut it that way, but they could sit there and say it's not really that big of a detriment if he ends up retiring.
But here's the thing. And this all goes back to Andrew Berry. We could talk about him again for a minute. We could talk about him for hours if we really wanted to. Who on this Browns team right now would you be like, hands down, that's a player I want on my team next year? Like, not even in the sense of no offer across the table could come that I would take, but just in the sense of, damn, that's a player I want on my team next year.
You're talking about pillars.
Because I'm asking.
The pillar of the organization, right?
And answer that question.
Right.
Answer that question right now.
Okay, the pillars, because
realistically, Matt, are you going to name a single player? I'm curious. Are you going to name one player drafted by Andrew Berry?
Not Ward, not Garrett. He traded for Jerry Jeudy.
Don't care.
Traded for him, so you got to give him credit there.
Great, a GM can trade.
Okay. He didn't draft David Njoku. Okay.
Who?
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Okay, one, and he might not be.
And he's
fingers
on
crossed.
IR,
I pray he plays football again for the Cleveland Browns. But the point being, every redeeming person on this team was not drafted by Andrew Berry. You had a core. You tanked. You had to deal with Hugh Jackson's goofy antics for 2 years to get your pieces to finally be set up to just be a quarterback away. You thought you had in Baker, and even if you didn't, whatever. That's revisionist history. You took the ultimate gamble, traded your 3 first-round picks, gave all this guaranteed money. It flopped. Now you're gonna have to suffer through it. Sorry, Myles Garrett's never playing another football playoff game in Cleveland. I don't think so. Denzel Ward isn't. Nick Chubb isn't.
No, and then you're hamstrung onto the salary cap. I saw somebody, I don't know, this tweet got picked up from somebody from Underdog, and I guess I probably should give credit, but I don't remember. And they were talking about Kirk Cousins, and they said all the basically this person called the Browns poor and said they had no draft or had no salary cap to be able to go make it work with Kirk Cousins because oh my God, I'm not going to be able to find this. Anyway, it was about that they could do the Russell Wilson. Come here on a cheap-ass deal because he just got checks for $90 million. But then the whole point this person was trying to make, the Browns can't even do that. And I was going to get snippy and snotty with that person. It was the holiday season, so I didn't. And I go, apparently that person doesn't know how the salary cap works where they can roll that money over, and they're rolling $44 million over to the 16 that they already have free for next year. Then, yes, the dead cap hit from Deshaun Watson. I get all of it, fine. The avenue is there. But outside of that, can you go to Joel, can you go to Miles and say, we're going to be able to be big spenders on some of these other positions? That's the other problem. I'm going to be on alert come the draft if Cam Ward goes ahead of the Browns for them to trade back so they can get multiple cheap draft picks that you hope you can hit on, and they're here making a fraction of what a veteran guy would be.
It's a Band-Aid on a bullet hole.
That's what I'm saying. The wound is festering at this point. I get that. There's nothing that they can do to expedite this process.
So why are we acting like trading Myles Garrett is just an absurd idea?
Here's the thing. It's not absurd. I just don't want to do it. But the problem is, with the situation you're in, you're going to have to do something you don't want to do. When in reality, and you and I were talking about this before the show, watched a lot of football the last couple of days, and you sit there and you just ask yourself, how do I become these other teams? And I look at certainly the Chiefs, the Ravens to a point, but I keep circling back for some unknown reason to the Detroit Lions. And I go, how did they do that? And I start with Dan Campbell, right? That had to be a monumental seismic shift that he brought into that organization. But you just look at the litter of draft picks that they hit on with that team. They traded for Jared Goff, and granted, that's worked out better than they could have ever imagined. But they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. They drafted Sam Laporta. I know Ian Hutchinson's not there. Amon-Ra St. Brown. They pick up Jamison Williams. Like, all these little things that they do. They drafted Penny Sewell. They had some carryover. Taylor Decker's been there forever. But, like, all these pieces, and I just come back to, that is the only way to build your team for success. So I'm going to need as many draft picks as I can get. Therefore, you probably should just trade Myles Garrett.
Bingo.
You probably should just do it.
Bingo.
Trade David Njoku.
Bingo.
Trade Denzel Ward.
Dude, you have to accept the era of that foundational pillars of winning that you thought you could build upon. It's over. It's over. Your window of opportunity is over, and you have to go back to the drawing board, as sad as it is. And listen, you're going to be a shit team, bottom of the barrel, probably for the next 3 years again. Stefanski will be gone, Andrew Berry will be gone, and Jimmy Haslam will stay there. That's going to be the future for the Cleveland Browns. And it all starts with the quarterbacks. You got to go back to the lottery.
It's also having the tough conversation of this,
Miles.
This window is closed. Like, we're done here with this era of football. And unfortunately, guys like Joel and all that, they're going to just be lost into the history of this crap era of football from the Cleveland Browns. It was more tolerable than some other eras I've been through. At least you went to the playoffs and won one and all that other kind of stuff. But still, like, you're just going to be lost into the history because they couldn't solve the quarterback situation. They couldn't get everything done. And that's where we all pain for Joel because we're all in the same situation. I don't got to go out there and sacrifice my knees and my elbows and get concussions and all that kind of stuff. He's got to go do that every Sunday. But it's like, he just doesn't deserve that. How many guys have come through here that you circle and you go, they didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve to have to put up with that. But that's what they get. They came to Cleveland, and that's what happened. All these guys that you thought were supposed to be a part of the turnaround, everything they did was for nothing.
Yes, because
everything that they did was for nothing.
Yes.
And that's so sobering to have that conversation where I'm like, you know, it's just this every year. Joel Bitonio's back every year, all pro left tackle or left guard, just back. Now I'm having the actual conversation that I don't think Joel Bitonio's going to be here anymore.
Listen, when you had Baker Mayfield here, and you had the good team that you had around him, and you saw you won a playoff game for the first time in forever in Pittsburgh, that was an amazing moment. Now, like the ceiling of that with Baker here, sure, it might have been maybe one AFC Championship appearance. Very possible we would have never went to the Super Bowl with Baker here. And obviously, it's easy for me to say in hindsight, well, obviously, that's so much better than the hell we're in now. So, like, I understand that the gamble that they went through with going for Deshaun Watson, turns out you bet on a lame duck. You bet on really the worst quarterback. We talked about this, Matt. I know you said you've seen worse quarterbacks here since 99. I wasn't around for the early 2000s as Browns fandom, but, man, Deshaun Watson looks horrible.
Well,
but it's the problem. You took the gamble. You went all in. You had a shit hand. And now you're screwed. None of those
guys that we were talking about, though, ever led the league. Like, you got to remember, I factor in that I knew Deshaun Watson could do it. There's no world that I thought Thad Lou was going to do anything. And there's no world that I thought Cody Kessler was going to do anything. That is the twist of the knife is I knew this guy could do it at one point. That's what makes it even harder. If you just started with the headline of Browns quarterback doesn't meet expectations, start the list, you know? But doesn't meet expectations is different when it's a guy that I knew led the league in passing one year and did take his team to the playoffs and he gave up all the stuff for him. That's the twist. And the thing is, this organization, this regime, right? Let's start another conversation with Joel, right? Let's say he sits down with them and they go, we're going to fix this. We, first off, will admit to you that Deshaun Watson is not the answer for us. Let's start with that. Joel would sit there and say, then what else? Do you think I have faith in you? Which is the biggest conversation topic among Browns fans right now. Do you have faith in Andrew Berry to find somebody?
Even if Joel had a sliver of faith, that doesn't matter. The window of Joel's career it doesn't overlap with the Browns' magical plan, whatever I'm sure they're drafting up in the Berea blueprints. That doesn't line up with Joel's the time he has left.
100%. And that's the unfortunate roll of the dice that we sit here with him. And if I were him, and I say this as a Browns fan, and I hope this hits him, and I hope it resonates with him. Joel, go. Here's your clip for the day. You ready for this?
Sure.
Can I speak to Joel Bitonio as a lifelong Browns fan who he has been one of my favorite players over the years. He's given so much to this city. We all love him to death. Joel, go. Go away. Go somewhere else. I want to see you play in a playoff game. And outside of Pittsburgh or Baltimore or Cincinnati, I would root for that team to win the game for you. Go somewhere else. If you think you really have a year left and you want to, please go. For me, for you, for your family, you deserve that. Go. And for the Browns, you do him right. Wherever he wants to go, I don't care what the draft pick is. I don't care what the dead cap hit is. If he wants to go, let him go. And that's hard because Joel doesn't want to do that to this franchise, to this fan base. And I don't mean to sit here and act like I'm speaking for the fan base, but I think the vast majority of all of us would say the same thing to Joel. We thank you. We're never not going to love you. We'll see you on that Browns cruise in a couple of years, man, and we'll be wearing your jersey, and we'll come up, and we'll reminisce. Nothing you do will change any of that. Go. The Lions want you. The Chiefs want you. The Eagles want you. Go. Get that done this offseason. Do it. If he wants to keep playing. If he wants to retire and he wants to be able to hang his hat that he stuck through here the whole time, that's great. But Joel, I'm telling you, go. Just please go. And it's not that I don't want you here. It's gonna make me sad. It is. But I want that for him. And I think he deserves that. All right, we'll get to the morning update coming up. We're going to go around the league as well, get our picks. Big week here for us, Ryan.
I think I did good last week.
You did. You're off to a good start, too. We already got 3 games. Got 3 Saturday games, full slate. We'll get to the Friday report card, and we got it all. You don't need a report card, though, to go to Fairway Ford, though. The Christmas sale is all that you need to know. You got time off now. You've been thinking about that vehicle for 2025. Now is the time to go. Number one reason, all the 2024 is still on the lot. They're trying to move off of them. And they have so many demo specials. I'm doing it right now. FairwayFordOhio.com. FairwayFordOhio.com. Ryan, give me a vehicle. Raptor, Bronco.
White Bronco.
Bronco. Done. Here we go. First one up. Would you take an Onyx? A silver metallic Onyx?
The Pokemon?
No, that was one of my favorite Pokemon to get, though, by the way. Brock.
What does he come? Like a Gravelite or whatever it is?
Well, Graveler. Geodude would morph into Graveler.
Geodude.
And then Golem. Yeah, that was a good one, too. Got off on that. I'm saying I'm looking at an off-white Bronco for you, Ryan. That is a demo special. A 2024 Bronco Wild Track 4-wheel drive. Demo special. You do nothing but show up $9,000 off MSRP. You want the black one, $9,000 off of this one, $8,000 off of that one. Here, I'm going to try to find you your white one here. They have the silver metallic. How about Cactus Gray? Can I talk you into that? Because that one's $8,000 off on that one as well. I was going to tell you about the demos, but now I just want to find Ryan his white. Here it is. I found it. Ryan! $13,000 off MSRP for a 2024 Bronco Raptor 4-wheel drive. Exterior Oxford white for you over there, Ryan.
It's just like OJ's?
Kind of, yeah. You can go that way if you want. 5 miles on it.
Does it come with gloves that don't fit?
Never even touched the road for you, Ryan Smith. Tyler, you can go get it right there.
Did you use my government name?
Well, you have to when you fill out your paperwork. You'll fill out your paperwork there at Fairway Ford. Can't be using your stage name over there. Folks, they got it all for you. And right now, again, these are new vehicles. Pre-owned vehicles are there, but I'm telling you, the demo special, this is a fantastic time. Then here's what you do. You take that demo special, you take the $9,000 off, then you get the 1.9% if you can for the 60 months. You get the no payments for 90 days if you want, and the selection is expansive. F-150s, the Raptors, the Broncos, the Mavericks, the Edge, the Escapes, the Explorers, they're all there. Super Duties, commercial vehicles, it's all there. FairwayFordOhio.com. Can I just tell you what I'm going to guarantee you? A great deal on a good vehicle with easy customer service. They don't trap you in the store. They don't hound you for the extended warranty. They sell a lot of vehicles there, and they're damn freaking good at doing it. FairwayFordOhio.com. Tell them we sent you a very happy holiday and a new year to you from us and the team at FairwayFordOhio.com. Do you want the extended one? They have 4-door Broncos. Do you want the 2 or 4-door?
Probably 2-door.
Okay. All right. That helps you out a little bit.
I don't have kids.
That's fine. You'll get there. Oxford White, I got another one here for you. 6 miles on it. Ooh, they got the blue ones. Really sharp. FairwayFordOhio.com. All right, Browns. We got a game to play. We got Browns Dolphins.
Yeah, the report card's just so depressing.
Still got to do it. You've never taken a depressing report card to your parents? We all have.
No, I got straight A's.
Have you ever forged your parents' signature on something?
A
report card, a demerit?
No, I'm not scum.
I did one time. But I told my parents I had detention anyway. I get detention for chewing gum. I get too many demerits for chewing gum, so I had to go to detention. So it is what it is. We got the Friday Report Card. I don't want to see it. Let's roll. Mike McDaniel. No snippy picture of Mike McDaniel.
Just look at him. I didn't have to do that.
He didn't get fired. I know he just got that deal. They're playing better, which is a lot which we're going to talk about here with the Dolphins. Are the Dolphins in a good situation?
Well,
I think it's a great way to start this conversation for the Friday Report Card here on the show. Do you think
good situation? No, I wouldn't say they're in a good situation.
Okay, you have Tua,
yes,
who, when on and right and healthy, looks like a guy that can be an elite quarterback.
I don't know about that.
I would kind of agree. I was Justin Herbert in that draft all the way, but here we are.
0 playoff wins.
Yeah, you've got the concussion issues, which seem to have subsided for the moment. We'll get to the receivers. They're missing Jalen Waddle. They've been missing Jalen Waddle. Tyreek Hill, they just don't throw to him anymore. Like they found we'll get to Jonnu Smith and freaking Devon Achane, who's been amazing for them. But it's not even like they need Tyreek Hill at this point anymore. So I sit there, and Mike McDaniel always seemed to me like this mad scientist, right? He was off the McVay tree and Shanahan, and everybody freaking out about these guys. And everybody's trying to pull out of this pool. Hey, you were associated with them. We think you're going to be good on offense. And I think for all of his quirks, because I think he is kind of a quirky guy, he seems like a really bright offensive mind. Where I question him is that head coaching role. He might be one of those guys, and there's no knock in being this, and you don't know this until you try being a head coach. He might just be better off being an offensive coordinator.
I agree.
Where he can be a little weird, and the way he talks to the guys. Like, I guess I just love the question. You think the Dolphin players actually respect Mike McDaniel? I don't know how, and this is me from 1,000 miles away. I don't know how I could. He seems like he's a younger guy. You're right. He doesn't have a lot of the accolades that you sit there and you say, man, this is somebody I got to really listen to. Okay, he's paid. He's got the team, like, front office behind him. But I don't know. And I think, obviously, these last couple of games for them are huge because here's where it stands, right? They beat us on Sunday. Maybe. They win their final game. They could still miss the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're just going to chalk that up is that you had to put Tua on IR. What did he miss? 6 games?
Yep.
And I think they lost all 6 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, like, they're horrible without Tua.
That's how you swallow that. When you got to play Tim Boyle or whoever else they play, Skylar Thompson or whatever his name's been there forever. Like, that is a palatable. I'm going to swallow that and just get ready to go to the offseason and say our quarterback got hurt. Not many teams can make them when the quarterback gets hurt. Fair enough, right? Like, that's what you just chalk it up for. But I thought it was interesting with Mike McDaniel and things are going there. All right, Tua is healthy, and I think he's balling out a little bit. So here it is. Quarterbacks, obviously there's going to be no debate in this one.
World-beating stat line from DTR.
Yeah, we need to get a touchdown. You think he throws a touchdown?
No.
No, okay. In his last 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to go his last 5 games for Tua. In 3 of the 5, he's had 300 yards passing. He has had a touchdown in each, with 3 of those 5 with multiple. And you take out 3 interceptions that he threw in that loss to Houston, he hasn't had an interception outside of those games. He's been on.
No, he's not good.
You don't think Tua's on?
No, I don't.
Good?
No, I have eyes. No,
Okay.
trust me.
All
Stats
right.
can say whatever they want. I watch him play. No, I don't get me wrong. He's way better than any quarterback we have on our roster right now. But I don't think a team will ever win a Super Bowl with their starting quarterback being Tua.
4 out of those 5 games, he's thrown it 40 times. So they have no problem airing it out, even with Jalen Waddle missing time. But the thing is, who's he throwing to now? Jonnu Smith and Devon Achane. They're the 2-man show right now. And the thing is, you still have Tyreek Hill. You still have to respect him and understand that they can get the ball to him. And this is coming from somebody who I, again, agree that I don't, like, I was all Justin Herbert in that draft. I think they made a mistake there.
Oh, Herbert's way better than Tua.
Herbert's 1,000 times better. 1,000 times better. I shouldn't say made a mistake because they took Herbert first. But anyway, like, I do think there's a world that Tua, he's like Baker Mayfield. I think if you put him in the right system with the right guys around him, it can work. And I think he is in the right system with some of the right guys.
I think Baker's better.
I would agree. And just when it's hard to have this conversation and not factor in the concussions, because again, every time he gets hit, every time he takes off with the ball, you got to be sitting there like grinding your teeth, going, go down, go down.
I don't know.
Go down,
I don't
go
know.
down.
I don't know why they're letting him continue to play football.
That's his decision. He got
Dude,
cleared. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know, dude.
Why is Denzel Ward still playing? I don't know. But yes,
That's a
this
good
is
point,
very
too.
clearly the Miami Dolphins side. But again, there's more hits to the court. And then there was the one that he was blocking on a run, or was it an interception or something? He just put his head right in there.
No.
Dude, what are you doing?
No.
Stop it.
And
He's a smaller guy, and you know how I feel about smaller quarterbacks. The edge very clearly here is Tua. And I just think, again, of the recent games that he's played, they are 3-2 in their past 5. So it's not been that it's all been on Tua, but he's a stat padding kind of guy. He's going to put up some gaudy yardage numbers. We'll get to some other things about the Dolphins coming up here, but obviously the edge here, and that's no question, just because it is what it is. Next up. All right, head coach. I think this, again, is proper to give it to Kevin Stefanski for a lot of the debate that we have had when it comes to Mike McDaniel that we were talking about. Same thing that you feel about Tua. I just don't see Mike McDaniel leading a team to a Super Bowl. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
It reminds me of like a college kid returning to his hometown to coach a youth basketball team.
You know, everybody jokes that he walks around like his dad is the owner of the company and he's on vacation for a week, so he gets to walk around like he owns it. And I get that that's maybe appealing to a younger generation, and there's some guys, like part of the reason I think Bill Belichick's not in the NFL is because you just can't talk to these guys anymore. They're just completely, there's just such a gap, whatever. But Kevin Stefanski got 2 head coach of the years. I don't know if Mike McDaniel will ever win one. As far as offensive minds go, I do think they are 2 extremely bright offensive-minded guys as well. And when I talked about the deficiencies that I think Mike McDaniel has being the head coach, I think Kevin Stefanski does fine in that CEO-type role at year. I don't think there's any debate, right?
Nope, not for me
whatsoever. All right, receivers we go. All eyes on Jalen Waddle for this game. He's missed several with the knee. He was a DNP on their Christmas practice, and he was limited yesterday, which makes it sound like he might be able to get back for this game, and I would imagine he's going to. These are must-win games for Miami, but you look at it, when we factor in the tight ends and the receivers, which is usually what we do, freaking Jonnu Smith, man, has almost single-handedly won them a couple of games, which is crazy. And their leading receiver is still Tyreek. It's also crazy that there's a world we live, he does not crack 1,000 yards.
Yeah, what does he have, 1 touchdown?
834.
I mean, how many touchdowns does he have?
6.
Oh, he's 6?
6. But Jonnu Smith already has 6. Jonnu Smith has 800 receiving yards this year for Miami. I'm pulling up his game log. What's he been recently? Here you go. 62, 48, 44, 113. I guess only 2 touchdowns in his last 4 games. But the thing is, they've had to go to him because Jalen Waddle has been out. So I think that changes. Then obviously we'll get to the running backs with Etienne and Mostert, and they throw to the running backs as much as anybody out of the backfield. But the crazy thing is, that's it. You know, Odell's long, like these are their leading receivers. Tyreek Hill, Jonnu Smith, Jalen Waddle, Etienne, Mostert, then Malik Washington, who has 134 yards. It's not like this widespread, they got 6 guys that can beat you. They're really working off of Smith and Devon Etienne right now. That's it. And we'll get to the offensive line here in a second as well, but that'll fold us right back into the running back situation. This is without a question, no doubt about it, that Devon Etienne. Is Devon Etienne a top 10 back in the NFL? I think he's close. I think he's close.
Yeah,
I really do.
He's insane. He means so much to that team. Him catching passes out of the backfield is incredible.
He's like
so
diet
fast.
Christian McCaffrey.
He's so fast.
He's like diet Christian McCaffrey. Like he can do just a little bit of everything. And with so much of the window dressing and the motions and the freaky, crazy stuff that they do in Miami, it's just, he's one of those guys, they just get the ball in his hands.
He's so good.
They just get the ball in his hands, and he's electric with how he plays. So running back again, very much here. Hang on, I want to pull this up too. Sorry, I meant to have this up, and I was getting ready to go. NFL rushing stats. Dolphins are mid-pack. They're mid-pack. I guess they're a little above average. They're like 12 in the NFL. So they're running it well. We'll get to the offensive line here in a second, but very clearly on the side of the running backs here. The offensive line is also, without a shadow of a doubt, I think Miami.
Go look at the stats, my friend.
Okay. They got Isaiah Wynn back last week. Do you know what they did? Ran the football extremely well. So Kendall Lamb, former Cleveland Brown, by the way, at right tackle, he's fine. Eric Armstead on the left tackle, he's the second best graded tackle in football. Brewer, their center, is fine. They're changing out their guards. No offense to Liam Eichenberg, Cleveland's own. And then their other guard is Robert Jones. Not all that good, but that's when they get Isaiah Wynn back like they did last week, and all of a sudden they open the floodgates, they're able to run the football. So I actually was going to give the edge there to the offensive line of Miami, but Ryan sees it as...
Hey, according to the stats, I use the stats for offensive line because I don't know how to grade those.
That's fine. Where'd you get the stat?
I don't know. I think it's maybe PFF.
Okay. The Browns give up 4 sacks a game. That is the worst in the NFL. 32nd in the NFL. Miami is 16th. They give about 2.5. Now, again, a lot of that was earlier with Watson. That's like the full season thing. I actually was going to give the edge to the offensive line, but that's just me. All right, to the defensive side that we go. A little bit different as well, where Calais Campbell, Zach Seiler, their 2 D tackles are just wreaking havoc right now. Former friend Emmanuel Ogbah, not all that good. And they've got names in the secondary. Jalen Ramsey is fine. Javon Hollins, their one safety. Old friend Anthony Walker, who's made some plays. Really, their defense, the strength is the interior right there. Seiler and Campbell. You kind of, I just look at Miami, and I do think a little bit on, they limited at 20 points. San Francisco's beaten up, they gave them 17. But the Jets put up scores on them. Green Bay put up 30. Like, this defense, and then obviously the news this week, they're not going to activate Bradley Chubb. He missed his window to come back. I think this defense is a little suspect. So I get the edge to the Miami side of it, but I think this is another one that's pretty close for me.
Yeah, I mean, Miami's no world beater by any means, but statistically, they're much better than the Browns in terms of yards given up per game.
Yeah, here we go. Team, as far as team defense goes, Dolphins are 7th best in the NFL at 312 per game. Passing, they're 12th at 211 per game. And then the rushing defense is 7th at 102. So they're just, overall, again, 7 to 12, somewhere around that range. And then the Browns defense has just been gashed. And again, I say that people get pissed because they're like, man, but they held Kansas City too. And it's like, the Browns defense, even against Burrow, played their asses off. Had one bad drive, but the offense can't pick them up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame the defense. Well, don't get me wrong. The miscommunications are unacceptable, and Jim Schwartz has to get in the lab because just ever since, the second half of last year, I mean, he's been getting exposed. But, I mean, pressure up front wasn't as good as it was last year, and it's impossible to play great defense when you're on the field every 2 seconds.
All right, here's the injury report as we get ready to go for Sunday. Number one, biggest thing for the Browns, David Njoku. I think he's done. They have to go get that MRI in the knee. He's not practiced the past 2 days. I think we're done there. Obo Okoronkwo popped up with 2 straight DNPs. We know Shelby Harris already put on IR, so a little limited on that D-line. Other than that, you're pretty good. Limited for Tillman if he's going to get out of this concussion protocol. Limited for a Fetty who popped up yesterday, but should be ready to go. Now, the Dolphins are very interesting on this one. Terron Armstead, who I just mentioned is their second best graded offensive tackle in football, 2 straight DNPs without a knee, or with a knee. He has a knee. I'm sure it's a knee, and I'm sure it's bothering him, so he has one, but it's not working. So you have to watch out if he's going to play. Kendall Fuller, their corner, 2 DNPs. Jordan Poyer, their safety, missed 2 practices, as did Anthony Walker. So they have some guys you're kind of questioning. The one that I circled, though, was Waddle. He went from a no practice on Wednesday to limited yesterday. I think he's going to come back for this game. So they have some injuries. They're put it this way. As far as winning the injury battle, we do win that. They've got some more guys to kind of question if they're going to be ready to go, if they're able to even practice. Obviously, they didn't practice this week. They'll be geared up to go for this game. So at least on the injury front, a little bit better for the Browns.
Listen, I'll be pissed if the Browns win this game. I'll be honest with you. I do not want them to win this game in the absolute slightest. I want them to lose out. If you have any shot of going to get Cam Ward, I mean, listen, even if you're not that in on him, dude, if you're talking about having any sliver of hope, having Myles Garrett come back and not come back, but, not request a trade and be happy and have a little bit of faith, and especially Joel Bitonio, I mean, there's no other option.
No, I get it. And I don't think you're going to have anything to worry about. I really don't. And it starts with Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who's been battling that calf injury. The questions, and Tony Grossi asked Ken Dorsey, are you going to be able to trick this offense up the way that you want it? Are you able to actually run a balanced offense having to put the ball in Dorian Thompson-Robinson's hands? And the other same part about this, too, Miami getting out of the gates, are you going to find yourself down 10-0 going to the second quarter? And then you got to change everything because you're playing behind the whole time. The start of the game is going to be so vitally important to try to help out Dorian Thompson-Robinson. You see that stat from Caleb Williams last night? He's gone 8 weeks, or not 8, but I think it's been 6 weeks since he's played with a lead. 6 straight weeks that Caleb Williams had the ball in his hands and he's not had a lead in any of those games. That's a tough way to go. Tough way to go. Again, I don't think you have anything to worry about because of Dorian Thompson-Robinson starting in this game. So if that is what it is, we'll get to our picks coming up. All right, you want to break, then we'll come back, go around the league?
Sure.
All right, so we'll break, we'll come back. We'll recap the 3 games on the books. We got 3 for Saturday, full slate for the weekend. We'll get to that. Got our Cavs parlay coming up, late one tonight out in Denver. 9 o'clock tip, so we'll get a parlay cooking for that. We'll get to timeout. We'll get to the grid. We got it all for you. Fontana Show right here in Big Play. Stay with us.
The Big Play Sports Network. Download the free app today to watch all of your favorite hosts on demand.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like... I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages, because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. 'Tis the Laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, 'tis the Law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
What an embarrassment. A catastrophic embarrassment. for Buckeye Nation. Ohio State was a 21-point favorite. And I heard that the line went up as much as 23.5 points in Vegas at kickoff. Can you imagine if you took Michigan with all those points? You were probably drunk after the first quarter. Get this. That is the biggest point spread in the rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State since 1978.
All right, time is a-ticking. Welcome back, Fontana Show, right here on Big Play. Be following on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. I'm at Matt Fontana 83. Ryan is at Ryan Tyler 33. Follow us on YouTube, Big Play, Instagram, Big Play. Download the Big Play app for all the interviews. Getting ready to go for Ohio. We got to talk Ohio State on Monday. Bobby Carpenter got it all. Check it out there at the Big Play app. All right, here's where we're at. Last week, I didn't even add that up. Did Green Bay?
They shut them out.
They slaughtered them, right? That's what we did. Okay. So last week, I went 7, 8, and 1. Ryan went 10, 4, and 1.
Wow.
No, wait, that math ain't math. Right?
Say it again.
Shouldn't we had 16 games a week ago?
Are you including college games?
No, I didn't include the college games. No. Right? Because I'm at 16. 7, 8, and 1 last week is 16 games. Nobody had a bye last week, right? Ryan is 10, 4, 1. Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. You went 10, 5, and 1.
That's fine.
10, 5, and 1. 10, 5, and 1 a week ago. So Ryan comes in this week 115, 118.
I'm getting back up there.
And 7.
I'm getting hot way too late in the season.
I am now 124, 109, and 7.
So I could come back and still beat you.
You could.
Especially
you could. It's a big week. Now, you already got a good start on me.
Yeah.
3 games, 2 Christmas and the Thursday night. Kansas City wipes the floor with Pittsburgh. Phonies? Bro, phonies?
All right, I got to get this on my chest.
Go ahead. We both won on Kansas City, by the way. But
people are, I see this rhetoric on SportsCenter and every outlet, or the Steelers phonies. Nobody was ever saying they were going to make any noise in the playoffs,
what do you
were
mean?
they?
People are saying, oh my God, look at what they're doing. Oh my God, they're so good.
Name one playoff team outside of maybe the Texans that you would pick the Steelers to beat in a do-or-die scenario. Nobody.
All right.
It's every year they either start hot or start like shit, and then vice versa the second half and bounce out in the first round. Nobody thought the Steelers were going to be good. I don't care if they were 13-0 like they were the season they lost to us in the playoffs. No.
All right, we both won on Kansas City. Why I took Houston, I have no idea.
Yeah,
but
I don't either.
did.
That was a horrible
pick.
pick.
You want to know the funniest thing? I bet Baltimore. I bet on Baltimore on Wednesday. So I don't know what I was thinking, and I think I did go back and forth, and I said, I'm like, I'll just take the opposite of you. And I took
Texans
Houston.
are garbage.
They are hurt.
Their offensive
They're not
line
good.
is
They're in a bad
horrendous.
spot right now. Not a good spot. I thought they maybe overcome that tank tail thing, but Ryan wins on Baltimore. And then Seattle and Chicago on the hook.
Yes.
The hook. It was 3.5. I lose on Seattle. Ryan wins on Chicago. 3-0 start for you young Ryan over there.
I might go undefeated this week.
Give me some picks. Let me tail this, buddy. Let me get you started here. All right, we got Saturday games. We start 1 o'clock, Gillette Stadium. Long trip for the LA Chargers and crew as they go up to New England to face the Patriots. Now, the Patriots are sitting here probably saying, what? We don't want to win this game either, right? They'd stay in a nice position to take Travis Hunter. But this stinks as somehow the Patriots showing up. And I'm going to say win this game. But it's 4.5 for the Chargers going on out. Chargers got back in the win column, that big win over Denver, which ended a 3 out of 4 loss streak for them. For New England, they've not won in over a month. They're on a 5-game losing streak, but they were competitive against Buffalo, showed up against Indianapolis. I'll get you the trends, but I think I got to take the Chargers in this game. Like, I just got to trust that they want to try to make, keep their playoffs. Not keep it because I think they're going to make it, but I'm going to go with the Chargers here. They're 7-2 against the spread their last 9 games, 6-3 straight up in their last 9. They don't play New England well, which I think that's a big historical thing with Tom Brady, but so be it. New England on the 5-game losing streak. They're also 1-10 straight up in their last 11 games at home. So take that for what it is. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I'll take a minus a 4.5 with Ryan.
Yep, don't need to think about that. Patriots suck. Drake May, good.
Drake May, good. Everybody else, not good.
Future home of Garrett Wilson next year, by the way.
All right, this one, massive for the Bengals, who are on the lifeline of all lifelines. They're at home, Paycor Stadium, 7-8. They need a win. They need the Broncos to lose out, and part of that is beating them on Saturday. This is the Cincinnati Bengals being a 3-point home favorite in a must-win game against the Denver Broncos. Broncos fought the Chargers last week, which ended a 4-game win streak for them. Cincinnati on a 3-game win streak, but they beat us, the Titans, and the Cowboys in those 3 games, excuse me. Do I think the bell will toll for the Cincinnati Bengals? Yes, but I don't think it's this weekend. The only thing that I look at is Denver's defense. With Joe Burrow, who's been having to do this all by himself, basically. It's a tough defense to have to play. They sack like nobody's business. They're changing some things on the offensive line again. I saw it this week. Like, they're benching Volson, their guard. They're bringing somebody else back. Like, there's some changes on that offensive line. Joe Burrow has going to have to go electric Superman in this game. I will take the Bengals minus the 3. I still don't think they're going to make it because I think Denver's going to win their final game and knock them out. But I'll take Cincinnati for this one. Denver 5-1 against the spread their last 6 games, 4-1 straight up in their last 5. Last 6 games against the Bengals, though, Denver is just 2-4 against the spread. For the Bengals, 5-2 against the spread their last 7. As I mentioned, they don't play all that well at home against Denver. Cincinnati, 4-1-1 against the spread their last 6 games when played on a Saturday. Ryan, 3, Cincy hosting Denver.
I will never bet on the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game. Give me Bo Nix. Give me the Denver Broncos. Sean Payton is going to officially end Zach Taylor's tenure in Cincinnati.
That might happen as well.
And I will get rid of this Joe Burrow for MVP discourse that disgusts me so much.
I don't like this number in this Rams game because I love the Rams to beat the Cardinals, but 6.5 is a big number. So all the story this week about the Cardinals was their just shocking lack of effort in a game that eliminated them from the playoffs. They're 7-8. They ain't making it. All these players coming out. There's a stink on the Cardinals right now. The Rams are winning this football game. The problem is I don't like it at 6. I like it at 3.5. But that is the number that we have. We shall see. Arizona's coming in 6-3 against the spread their last 9 games, just 1-4 straight up in their last 5, though. And boy, do they suck against the Rams. The Cardinals are 3-13 in their last 16 games against the Rams. Arizona is 4-15 in their last 19 games on the road, including 2-5 in their last 7 at SoFi Stadium, or on the road against the Rams. Take it for what it is. Rams, 8-3 at home in their last 11, 5-1 straight up and against the spread their last 6. I mean, I will take the Rams in this one. Again, I don't really like the number. I think Arizona is just packing it in. I think they're done. That's it.
Yeah, what's interesting, too, is I think it was week 2 or week 3 in Arizona. Arizona blew the wheels off of the Rams. I think they won by legit 30 points.
Right.
Seahawks won last night against the Bears, so now I think the Rams probably have to win out because their last game is against Seattle. So I'm going to go with the Rams in this one. I don't feel great about it. This would probably be your, what do you call, a sneaky, smelly backdoor cover of the week. But I'm still going to go with the Rams. I think they know what's at stake. Cardinals suck at this point. Jonathan Gannon fired next year?
Yes,
question mark.
Yes, that's happening.
So I'll take the Rams. I don't feel great about it.
All right. Highmark Stadium for the Bills at 12-3. It's all set. They cannot get the number 1 seed, but what they can get is locking in the 2 seed with a win over the hapless Jets. Jets 4-11 coming into town. This is a 9-point home spread for the Buffalo Bills as they welcome in Aaron Rodgers and crew. Aaron Rodgers in his career has only closed, with the Jets, excuse me. I'm sorry, this was not the stats report. As an underdog of 7 points or more in his career, Aaron Rodgers is 4-1 against the spread, only losing to Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers in the playoffs as being a spread of our dog of more than 7. I think times are different now with the Jets. Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen have technically played each other 4 times. Rodgers played 4 snaps in the opener a year ago. Rodgers is technically 2-2 in those games, but actually 3-1 against the spread after failing to cover against Buffalo earlier in this season. Bills defense has been a massive issue of late. Both of their defenses since week 9, 26th and 30th in EPA, 29 and 28th in success rate, and passing Buffalo over the last 10 games, less than that, has been the second worst pass defense in the NFL. But it's all been on Josh Allen, who has closed and just put up all these points. Josh Allen is a favorite of 9 points or more in his career. 24 times he has been a 9-point favorite or more. He is just 9-13-2 against the spread in those situations. We come into this game, Jets are just 3-9 against the spread, 2-7 straight up in their last 9 games against Buffalo. Jets have only won 1 of their last 5 games on the road. Buffalo 7-3 against the spread their last 10, 9-1 straight up in their last 10. They're on a 7-game home win streak. I hate this.
Don't do it. Actually, I want you to do it.
Yeah. Jets covered.
Absolutely not. I'm telling you, Matt, mark this down. You ready?
Jets
you ready?
covered.
Mark this down.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, 350 yards passing, 4 total touchdowns. He hears this Lamar MVP discourse.
I'll
He
give
wants
you
to
that.
get back into the race. They're going to shove it to Aaron Rodgers. Give me the Bills to cover that easily.
You took the Rams, by the way, over the Cardinals.
Yes.
All right, there you go. All right. A very important game for some when it comes to the playoff contending, or I'm sorry, for the draft pick situation, not necessarily for the Browns, but it's the Raiders at 3-12, 5-10 Saints. It is a pick'em game. The Raiders are technically a 1-point road favorite as they go down there. Derek Carr, done, right?
I don't know what's going on with him.
I have no idea, but if they're going to start Spencer Rattler again, oh no, he's in.
Or Haney.
Oh yeah, Jake Hayner.
Or is it Hayner?
It is Hayner, the Hayne man. We'll see how it goes. Vegas 1-10 straight up in their last 11. Just 3-8 against the spread their last 11 games against New Orleans. 2-4 straight up in their last 6. Vegas on a 6-game road losing streak. Saints just 3-8 against the spread their last 11. 2-5 straight up in their last 7 home games. Vegas coming off that putrid win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, but they were all excited even though they've given up draft spots there. New Orleans coming off the shutout against Green Bay. I don't know. Teams after getting shut out, the week after getting shut out, are 30-15-3 against the spread over the last decade. So they covered a 67% rate. Teams after getting shut out 30-0 or worse covered a 58% rate the next game since 1990. Yeah, it sounds like they're not going to have Derek Carr for this game. They're not going to have Alvin Kamara, right? They better shut him down. I'll let you go first. Pick them here, Raiders, Saints.
I'll take the Raiders. I don't think the Saints have anything left for them. Is Brock Bowers already a top 3 tight end in the NFL?
Yeah, he's pretty damn good.
He's going to be the
pretty damn
bright
good.
spot. He's going to be the next superstar. I mean, I'll take the Raiders to win this game, but I mean, the Saints are horrible. The Raiders are horrible too, but the Saints legitimately, record aside, might be the worst team in football.
I'll differ. I'll go ahead and take New Orleans just for the show. The Saints don't have anybody either. Max Crosby's done. They can't find a running back. The guy they got hurt. I hate absolutely atrocious game. All right, this is of interest for the Colts as they take on the Giants. This line might move, and you might want to hold off because it is 7.5, but now there's issues if Anthony Richardson is going to be able to play in this game or not. Colts playoff scenarios kind of still there. They're 7-8. Giants squarely in the number one driver's seat for that first overall pick, and they have no interest in winning this game. It is 7.5. I will take the Colts straight up before we get into the trends here, but I think that line might move if Anthony Richardson plays or not.
I honestly think the line should go up
if they go to
Anthony
Flacco.
Richardson's out. Joe Flacco, every time he comes in for the first, 1, 2, 3 weeks, he just lights it up. Giants are horrible. They want the number one pick. Colts should win this one easily.
Yeah. So you like them?
Yeah.
You want the trends number. We're fine. See how it goes. All right. Speaking of quarterbacks being injured, Ken Pickett in line for the Eagles as they welcome in the 7-8 Cowboys. Again, still games afoot on seeding and how it goes. Can the Cowboys, who actually have a bit of a resurgence here under Mike McCarthy, playing well? Stop. I know.
That's the most ridiculous discourse I've heard this
They've
NFL
won
season.
4 out of their last 5 games.
I don't care who they beat. You are yet to make it out of the divisional round. You are missing the playoffs. Why in the world would you bring back Mike McCarthy?
Eagles
because
are
you beat
7.
up who?
Eagles are 7-point favorites here. They're coming off that quote-unquote shocking loss to the Commanders, but it's because you didn't have Jalen Hurts in that game. Dallas 4-1 against the spread and straight up in their last 5. 6-2 straight up their last 8 games on the road. That's the knock on the Cowboys. They just can't win at home for some ungodly reason. Dallas has only covered 1 of their past 5 games, though, at Lincoln Financial Field. Philly 5-2 straight up in their last 7. We know 10-1 in their last 11. They're on a 5-game home win streak as well. Over the last decade, the favorites in this series between the Cowboys and the Eagles is 15-4 straight up and 7-3 against. Straight up. 15-4 straight up and against the spread. The Eagles are 7-3 straight up and against the spread, their last 10 against the Cowboys. Now, the other injury news that I'm burying here is that CeeDee Lamb is out, and they're shutting him down with his shoulder injury. So it's a bit of a yin and a yang with that one. Philly is only 2-10 against the spread. Their last 12 games was coming off a loss. 7
for Philly?
Yeah. I think I'm going to take the Eagles. Just give it to Saquon Barkley all
It's
day.
7 even.
If you want the hook, I'll give you the hook.
I would I would want it to be 6.5, but no, we can keep it at 7.
I can't. Oh, I mean, you could buy up to that if you want.
Kenny Pickett absolutely sucks at football. Saquon Barkley, they're going to try to get him that record. He'll probably rush for 30 times this game, 200 yards. Cowboys are going to have no offense. I'll take the Eagles. I would like it at 6.5.
Sure.
But 7's fine. If it pushes, it pushes.
Here we go. All right, a must-win game for the Buccaneers, who see that AFC South potentially slipping away from them. This should be the win. They welcome in Bryce Young and the Panthers, who, Ryan, are the hottest team in the NFL. They are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games, which is the best mark in that stretch after starting 1-9 against the spread in their prior 10. Bryce Young in his career, though, is 0-6-1 against the spread when he faces a team who's above 500. Baker Mayfield has faced all 32 teams in his NFL career. He is only 3-0 straight up or better against one team, and that would be the Carolina Panthers. Here, more on this one. They like the Panthers +8 here. They like Chuba Hubbard. 152 yards last week. Could they try to keep this close at 8? Carolina is just 1-4 straight up in their last 5. Again, they do not play Tampa well at all. 1-8 straight up in their last 9. Carolina's on a 1-14 streak on the road in their last 15. Tampa 5-2 straight up in their last 7. 4-1 straight up in their last 5. They're on a 5-game home win streak against the Carolina Panthers. Panthers coming in on that shocking win over Arizona, which ended the 4-game losing streak. Tampa with that loss to Dallas, who really put them in a bind on this one. This is my version of your Eagles game. I hate this at 8.
Yeah.
I hate it at 8. But if I had to pick, they're at home. I will take Tampa Bay.
Okay. History would tell me to take Tampa Bay.
Recency tells you to take Carolina.
This might be my hardest one to pick.
I didn't want to bring this up, but we already have had quite a few differences. So if you're trying to chase me down as opposed to getting above 500.
No, I want to go undefeated this week, so I can't. I'll go.
It's Tampa.
I'll go Tampa. I'm gonna regret it. It's gonna be a slow, gross, grinded out game.
It is going to be. It's gonna be.
I'll go Tampa. I don't love it.
But I don't like it at that number either, but it is what it is. All right, I hate this game, but it's one that we're all going to have to watch. It's the Titans taking on the Jags. This has everything to do with draft pick. This is technically Jacksonville as a 1-point home favorite in this one. Tennessee's 1-10 in their last against the spread in their last 11, 1-6 straight up. But Tennessee is 10-5 against the spread in their last 15 games against Jacksonville. Jacksonville, absolutely garbage as well. Titans moved to 2-13 against the spread last week, losing straight up and not covering against the Colts. Tennessee is now tied with the Ravens for the worst start by any team in the Super Bowl era against the spread. Overall, there's only been 3 teams that finished 3-13 against the spread in the 16-game format, the last team being the 07 Ravens. They're on their way for that. But the problem is, Mac Jones, outside of his rookie year with the New England Patriots, is just 8-21-1 against the spread. That is the worst mark of any quarterback in that stretch. Now, the shocking thing is, who do you think the second worst quarterback in that streak is?
Oh,
Since
God.
Mac Jones' rookie year, when he went 10-8 against the spread, he's 8-21-1. Worst stretch of quarterbacks. Who's second worst? I would only be bringing this up because it's got a tie to this game.
Oh.
It's not Mason Rudolph, bro. It's Will Levis.
Will Levis.
Will Levis, the second worst quarterback, but he ain't playing.
Was he drafted that year? No.
No. But I'm saying, like, he's even worse, like, as far as the percentages go, as far as covering. So Will Levis has been absolutely trash here. Titans are on a 4-game losing streak, and the Jags have lost 2 straight. For Tennessee, teams on a 4-game losing streak are covering just 44% of the time when they face a divisional opponent. So here's the problem. I want to take Jacksonville, but I'm not, because we need Tennessee to win this game. So I'm going to go with the Titans in this one for a little bit of good juju for the Browns.
Yeah, I will join you with that just because fingers crossed.
All right, one of the marquee games of the season comes on down. Packers, Vikings up there in Minnesota. I saw it this weekend, and obviously this is going to be a little bit of work for Green Bay to do this. If Green Bay can win out and finish 13-4, it would be the first time in NFL history that you would have 3 teams in one division have 13 or more wins. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's absolutely nuts.
That's where we're at.
I mean, you could have a 14-win team not host a playoff game.
That's nuts. And I kind of maybe like the Packers. Let's see what we got here. First off, the pick off of Ardshark, take the over 48.5. Jordan Love and Sam Darnold ranked 6th and 2nd. I'm sorry, 2nd for Jordan Love and 6th for Sam Darnold in EPA per play over the last 5 weeks. Green Bay has scored 30 or more in 5 straight. Minnesota has scored 27 in 4 out of the last 5. So they love slamming the over here of 48.5. Again, 2 solid defenses, but the offenses might show up in this game. Green Bay's covered their last 5 games, 4-1 straight up, and their last 5 on the road. Minnesota, 8-game win streak, 10-4-1 against the spread in their last 15, 7-1 in their last 8 games at home. For this one, Sam Darnold and Minnesota moves to 13-2 on the year. Here is the quarterbacks listed to win 13 or more games in their first season with their team. It's a tough list. Do you want to guess?
I do.
All right. So I have a list here.
Since when?
2004. 2004. There have been 4 teams to win 13 games or more in their first year with that team.
Okay.
Now, I will give you a hint. 2 of them are drafted to that team. 2 are free agent veteran signings.
Okay.
A la Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Okay.
So Sam Darnold was the 5th, correct?
He's the 5th.
Okay.
4 more.
My first, I
To
saw,
win again, first year on a team to win 13 games.
So it wasn't Brady because I remember they were the wild card team the year they won the Super Bowl, I believe.
Nope.
Was one Peyton Manning, Denver Broncos?
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
2012.
Right.
Now, your hint is there's been one more recent than that.
Right. So I think it wasn't the first year with Jared Goff, was it? So was it Matthew Stafford and the Rams? They didn't win 13?
Okay, your hint is this. The drafted guy.
Well, didn't you say there's one more that's...
The guy that's more recent is drafted. If you want to focus on the one that's... Okay, Peyton Manning 2012, you got that.
Yeah.
There's one that's happened since with a rookie that won 13 games.
I can't remember if they won 13 games or not, but I believe this guy has the rookie record for passer rating. Dak Prescott.
Correct!
Okay.
2016 Cowboys.
Yes.
All right. So now you are prior to 2012.
Okay.
One drafted, one free agent signed.
One draft prior to 2012.
Correct.
Oh. Ben Roethlisberger.
Correct. 2004.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
this one, I don't know if you'll get. This would be quite the send-off on the week if you got this one.
Okay.
Veteran guy goes to a new team. Do you want the
Prior
year?
to 2012.
Prior to 2012.
No, not yet.
Jay's with us this morning. He might have it. He'll help.
Prior to 2012.
Prior to
free agent
2012,
signing.
veteran guy leaves the team. That when you think of this guy, you think of him on this team, but don't forget he went to this team and won 13 games in the first year.
Wasn't Favre.
Nope.
Wasn't Vic.
Nope. Oh,
Mark Brunell.
Nope.
Oh, I was
Nope.
like, that's what
Jacksonville. Nope. Nope. Nope.
No, not. Oh, prior to 2012.
Do you? I don't
yeah,
think
give me
year
the
would
year.
help you.
Oh, you don't think so?
2006.
2006.
2006.
AFC or NFC?
AFC. He left an AFC team to go to an AFC team.
In 2006.
Again, guy to win it. 13 games in his first year with the team. You got Dak Prescott as a rookie in 16. Peyton Manning went to the Broncos in 12. Roethlisberger as a rookie in 2004. This guy was a veteran guy. Left his team and went to this team. Won 13 games in 2006.
Okay, not an AFC North team. Or it was.
It was. He went to an AFC North team.
So, okay, I think I know who it is then. And was I tripping? I thought he was drafted by the Bengals. Carson Palmer?
It's not Carson Palmer.
It's not.
It's not.
But it's the Bengals?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
It's not the Steelers, obviously, because we
It's
just
not them, and you know it ain't us.
So it's the Ravens. Well, Trent Dilfer?
No. Good pull, but no.
Obviously not Flacco, because we're talking about a free agent signing.
He wouldn't even draft you.
And I said Vic. Vinny Testaverde?
Nope. They got it.
Huh?
Steve Air McNair.
Oh, see, I didn't even know he played for the Ravens.
Steve McNair left the Titans,
I
went
didn't know
to the
that.
Ravens.
I don't know
and
anything
won
about Steve
13
McNair.
games.
I don't know anything about Steve McNair.
I don't know.
Well, I know he's dead.
Yeah, he's unfortunately no longer with us. Yes, then I know something about Steve McNair.
What a stat.
Here's the crazy. So again, we brought this up because Sam Darnold is only the 5th quarterback since 2000 to go to a team first year win 13 games. Do you want the common theme of all those other 4? Not one of them made a Super Bowl. 3 divisional losses, and Ben Roethlisberger went to the conference championship as a rookie and lost.
Peyton Manning didn't?
No, that was his first year in Denver. They lost in the divisional round.
To the Ravens.
That's right. That was Flacco.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly what it was. So I thought that was a pretty good one here. Packers are on a great streak. They've covered in 5 straight games while scoring 30 or more points in all 5 and not throwing an interception in any of those games. Ryan, they're the first team in the Super Bowl era to ever do that. 5 straight covers, 30 or more points, and no interceptions.
Wow.
They're cooking right now. Vikings have now won 8 straight games. It's just their second 8-game win streak within a single season. Overall, teams on an 8-game win streak are 38, 60, and 2 against the spread since 2010 going into what would be their 9th game. So it tells you maybe fade Minnesota here. Okay, obviously this is big for Minnesota. If they beat the Packers and then beat Detroit, it can be for the division and the number 1 seed.
Right.
But they also need the Eagles to knock out of a contention with a loss, or Vikings win, so on and so forth is where it goes. Matt LaFleur's done a great job with the revenge on the line. When facing the same opponent in the season, usually division, right, and they lose prior, which they did back in week 4, Matt LaFleur is 27-11 in revenge games, including 25-13 against the spread when facing an opponent after losing them in their previous matchup in this one. I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to take Green Bay. I don't like it, and actually I regret it instantly as I'm writing it down. Christian Watson's hurt again. Josh Jacobs is running so much. Ah! Give me the reprieve. Can I take Minnesota?
Yep.
Minnesota.
I'm taking Minnesota as well right now. My preseason prediction Super Bowl was Chiefs-Packers, so that's still very alive. But
yeah.
I think right now, if there's a team to knock off the Lions in the playoffs, it will be the Vikings. If the Vikings win this game, which I think they will, if it's not already signed, still delivered Coach of the Year for Kevin O'Connell, you can go ahead and sign that. It's tough. The Vikings are a complete team right now.
Yeah.
And Darnold's playing out of his mind. You have the best receiver in football. Don't care. Don't tell me Jamar Chase is. It's Justin Jefferson. I'm going to go with the Vikings.
All right, Sunday Night Football, Atlanta, Washington on a huge one for the Falcons. Commanders are in, but some seeding here. Commies are a 4-point home favorite. You get the rookies, man. Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can we go back a week ago, though, for the Commanders when they win that game? They turned it over 5 times and trailed by 14 points. In the last 20 years, only 2 teams prior had ever won in that scenario. Trailing by 14 and turning it over 5 times, Commanders were the third team to do that. Now, Michael Penix getting his second start after being a massive favorite last week. Now on the road as a dog. Quarterbacks within their first 2 starts on night games. So again, a rookie quarterback, first 2 career starts, one of them being a primetime game, are just 4-16 straight up since 2021. Quarterbacks facing a team above 500 in a night game are just 12-38 straight up since 1990. So you're in a primetime game, one of your first 2 starts, you're facing a good team. That's not good for one Michael Penix. All right, let's run through some of these ones here. They also really like the over for this game as well, shockingly with these guys. Atlanta is just 1-4-1 against the spread their last 6, 2-4 straight up in their last 6, and they've only covered one of their last 6 games against the Commanders. Atlanta not good on the road, just 6-14 straight up in their last 20 games on the road. Washington scuffling a little bit for covering. They've only covered 2 of their last 6, but they're on a 10-4 straight up in their last 14 games. Of course, Atlanta won 2 straight, but they beat the Giants and the Raiders. Washington coming off that big one over Philly, and listen, you know how much that I have put into the Falcons this year, and they keep proving me wrong. I just need to sit here and say this. They're fake, and they're phony, and I like Michael Penix, and I think they made the right move benching him. He is not beating Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. Give me the Commies all day.
What's the spread?
4.
Oh, it's only 4. Yeah,
It's
give
only-
me Commanders.
Washington is the pick, my friend. All right, quick recap. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. We both like the Chargers 4.5 over New England. Cincy is a 3-point home favorite over Denver. I take Cincinnati. Ryan took Denver. We both take the Rams 6.5-point home favorites over Arizona. I will take the Jets to cover a stinky 9 over the Bills. Ryan will take Buffalo.
Not happening.
Raiders Saints, we split on a pick 'em. Ryan has the Raiders. I'll take the Saints. We both take the Colts minus 7.5 on the road against the Giants. We both like Philly 7-point home favorites over the Cowboys. We both like Tampa on a big 8 at home against the Panthers. We both like Tennessee pick 'em over Jacksonville. We both like Minnesota, basically a pick 'em at home against the Packers. We'll both take Washington 4-point home favorites over Atlanta. Sounds good to you?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. Let's roll on Friday. Let's set it off well.
All right, dude.
Oh, there's a command. What, you don't like it?
It's just, I don't know. I the grid just, I wish we had something to play for right now.
I know. Well, we'll have an announcement on that. We'll have an announcement. And
Well, let's finish strong.
you and I can just still keep doing it.
True.
Just do it on Twitter.
True.
But it's important. It's an important.
All right.
Let's go. Timer.
You ready?
No, I'm not. Go.
All right, 10 plus sacks in a season for the Vikings.
Danielle Hunter. That's who actually I thought of. But doesn't
Yeah.
he work for the Colts too?
I know he's on the Texans now. I don't know if he ever played for the Colts.
I think I'm thinking of Yannick Ngakwe. Who also might actually work for all of us.
I mean, what about what's his face?
Jared Allen.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
I was gonna say probably somebody off the Purple People Eaters, but not that one.
Panthers.
Julius Peppers.
Yeah.
And then I always go Ryan Kerrigan for Washington. I think he's had to have had 10.
Yeah.
That's got it. All right. Right. Is that not
Vikings-
Yannick Ngakwe?
Well, I know it's Stephon Gilmore.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, but so is Colts Panthers.
True. Is this
I think
Yannick
it's Yannick
Ngakwe?
Ngakwe. I'm pretty sure it's Yannick Ngakwe. I just like saying his name. I think it's cool.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
We want to save it?
Yeah. I mean, again, we got Gilmore to play with, too. Can you come up with one there? Not Andy Dalton. It's not Baker. It's not Darnold. It's not... I don't think it's Jake Delhomme. Carson Wentz doesn't work there, does he? Oh, Carson Wentz, Colts. Yep. There you go.
That'll play.
That'll play. That'll do. Dog will hunt. There you go. All right.
Where should we rip Stephon Gilmore?
Oh, I wanted to say Travis Benjamin worked right there. Like the one you got, but I don't. Maybe not the Colts.
Just want to do Steelers?
Yeah, we can rip through some Steelers.
Steelers, Panthers. Is that Jonathan? Or not? Jonathan Stewart.
D'Angelo Williams?
Yes. Right?
I knew where he was going. I don't know why I kept thinking Hayden Hurst.
That's
I'm like,
it,
you're
right?
trying to, yeah.
That works, right?
Yeah, D'Angelo Williams.
Oh, there's probably 4,000 Williams.
Yeah, I would imagine that's probably pretty high.
How do you think you spell D'Angelo?
D-E apostrophe. D.
No.
No, D-E apostrophe.
Oh.
There you go.
No.
What? Maybe it's no apostrophe. Just go D-E, like D'Angelo. Maybe that's it.
You're...
Third time's a charm, maybe. All right,
Steelers, Washington. Oh, there's something screaming at me.
Yeah, something. It's not Jamison Crowder, not Pierre Garçon. It's not Adrian Peterson. It's not Mike Williams.
Antoine
probably
Randall?
Antoine Randall L.
Does that work?
I think so. Pretty sure.
You positive?
Enough to rip it. Yeah, enough to rip it. Cordell Stewart now, I don't think
Antoine Randall L?
Yeah, you don't remember Antoine Randall L?
I mean, how you spell it?
Antoine. Just do Randall space E-L. It should pop up. Okay, maybe not. Okay. A-N-T.
Oh, okay. Antoine.
You might have an apostrophe in there too.
Bro,
What are you doing?
how do you spell it? Antoine?
A-N-T-W-A-A-N.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, good job. All right, Vikings Steelers. Vikings
Mike Vick.
Steelers. I, for some reason, don't think it's going to be a quarterback.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'm not feeling tight ends. Offensive line, I can't really think of any.
Martavis Bryant, no. I don't think. James Washington, I don't think.
No, that's a deep cut. What about...
What's his face? Sidney Moncrief? Did he play for the Vikings?
I don't know. defensive players. Steelers, right? And then obviously they're two legacy teams, so I'm sure that there's like, you know, Hall of Famers that went back and forth. I don't know why John Randall came to mind.
I don't know who that is.
I want to Google that. Just give me a Google. Not John Randall. No, Randall went to the Seahawks. He was on Minnesota forever. Larry Ogunjobi doesn't work. Oh my God. Linebacker.
Shazier?
No. Oh my God.
James Harrison?
No. Oh my God. It's like Alex Anzalone. It's like Robert Spillane. Somebody like that. Damn it. All
right, which one should we have Stephon Gilmore for?
Well, can you come up with either one so we can put him in either one of those?
Did Paris Campbell? No, where did he get traded?
He's in Buffalo.
No, was that Paris Campbell?
Yeah. Oh, Curtis Samuels.
That's who you're thinking of, yeah.
Paris Campbell. It's not Thielen. It's not Deontay Johnson. It's not Kelvin Benjamin. Think of all those Cam teams. Cam Newton teams. They were
Any kickers?
probably
Fat Randy, did he ever kick for the Colts?
I don't think so.
I don't even know if he kicked for him. Joey Sly?
Joey Sly works for the Panthers, but I don't think he ever kicked it in the Raptors. Jake Delhomme, no. Dude.
In corner.
Corner?
For what? For what pair? For Vikings and Steelers?
A former first-round pick. I don't know. Just tell us. You're here.
Who?
Oh, Peterson. Yeah, he does work for both those. You're right.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You're right. You're right. All right. Rip these out.
All right, so
All right,
now...
so it's like, it's not Stokely. It's not Marvin Harrison. Chris Carter didn't go to Indianapolis. Jack Doyle.
Naeem Hines, I don't think played for either.
No, I want that to work, but no. Oh my God, Deontay Foreman.
For Colts Panthers?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Deontay Foreman. What?
That's why I do.
What do you mean?
I knew. I was like, I don't know if that's right.
What?
Oh, Matt. Kerry Collins.
Okay, we would not have gotten that. Go click on the list.
Yeah.
Bull crap.
Which one?
The middle one.
Colts Panthers?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't see it on
I don't know,
there.
it's fine.
Colts Panthers, Kerry Collins, Justin Houston, Stephon Gilmore, of course, Jacob Eason, Jerome Felton, Devin Funchess. That's about it.
Dude, oh my God. Deontay Foreman was an off season with the Colts. He was there, but he just didn't.
Hey, man, it happens.
Damn it.
It happens to the best of us.
Oh
Can't win them all.
my God. No, we can't. Claimed off waivers, tore his bicep in camp, and then was waived. That's what it was. You win some, you lose some. All right, so just catch our final break. We'll come back. We got to go Cavs tonight. We'll
We
get to
got
our
to time hop.
Oh, we got to do time hop too. We got to get to the Browns coming up on Sunday as well. Get you locked in. Stay with us.
The Big Play Sports Network.
Download the free app today to watch all of your favorite hosts on demand.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage beer. Beer flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer flavored beer.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. Tis the Laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, tis the Law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
What an embarrassment. A catastrophic embarrassment for Buckeye Nation. Ohio State was a 21-point favorite. And I heard that the line went up as much as 23.5 points in Vegas at kickoff. Can you imagine if you took Michigan with all those points? You were probably drunk after the first quarter. Get this. That is the biggest point spread in the rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State since 1978.
All right, show my bag, little post-Christmas edition, 27th of December for Time Up. Welcome back, Fontana Show, right here on Big Play. You can follow us on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. We're up on Instagram, Big Play. Download the new Big Play app, and we're also up on YouTube at Big Play. All right, we head on back this day, 2020. The grips of COVID. Browns fall to the Jets, 23-16. Now, obviously, we still made the playoffs. But at that time, it was the second to last game. We improved to 10-5 on the season. Baker Mayfield had a couple of turnovers, but the real question, he had 3 fumbles and lost 2 of them. But the other issue in this game was we lost Cody Parkey. He got hurt, and Jamie Gillen had to come in to try to kick because Cody Parkey got hurt in that game. Who's starting Jets quarterback that day?
So 2020?
2020.
Was Darnold still there?
Correct. Threw 2 touchdowns. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt each had a touchdown. 1,000 credits if you name the rushing leader for the New York Jets this day 2020.
Was this pre-Le'Veon Bell?
No, I think it was post-Le'Veon Bell. I think he was already out of there.
Okay. Jets
14
running
carries, 48 yards.
It wasn't the Crow, was it?
No, but good pull. This guy was an ageless wonder.
Frank Gore?
Frank Gore is correct. I'll give it to you. I'll give you half credit on that one. 14 carries for Frank Gore. We lose 23-16. Obviously, again, still made the playoffs. We just couldn't hold on a freaking football. We didn't have a kicker for that game as well. All right, another Browns game this day. 2015, we fought to the Chiefs. 17-13. A bit of an odd score on that one. Let me get you the box score on this one. All right, we fought a 3-12 on the year. Johnny Manziel, 136 yards. Alex Smith only had a $125, threw for 2 touchdowns and an interception. Sharkandrick West was the leading rusher for them. Jeremy Maclin and Travis Kelce each had touchdown receptions for the Chiefs this day 2015 as we fall to them. This day 2009, a win. We beat the Raiders 23-9. Sorry, I usually have all these box scores pulled up, and I don't. All right, 2009, starting quarterback for the Browns. And also remember this. This was the 4-game win streak at the end of the season to save Mangini's job. We improved to 4-11 on the year, our second to last game of the year.
Right.
Starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns that day.
Was it Derek Anderson?
It was. Starting quarterback for the Raiders.
In 2009.
Here's your hint.
Not Carson Palmer?
No. This guy used to start for the Cleveland Browns.
Brian Hoyer?
No.
Oh, no, this is way before. That's before Hoyer.
Yeah.
2009.
He threw 3 interceptions that game for the Raiders.
When did he play for the Browns?
2 years prior to that.
Seneca Wallace.
No. He's a hometown guy.
He's a hometown guy.
From Willard, Ohio, and the University of Akron.
Who the hell came out of Akron?
Charlie Fry.
Charlie Fry. That dude, I forgot that dude existed.
Charlie Fry was the starter that day for the Oakland Raiders.
Wow.
Darren McFadden was on that team. Michael Bush. Mohamed Massaquoi caught the touchdown for the Browns all the way in 2009. This day, 1981, Wayne Gretzky got his 100th point of the season in just his 38th game. It was the fastest in NHL history. He had a 4-goal, 1-assist game against the Kings. This day, 1974, Archie wins the Heisman. First of 2. I don't think we'll ever get a 2-time Heisman Trophy winner.
I don't think so.
I don't think they want to give it out.
No,
I don't think they want to give it 2 times.
Your closest one is probably Caleb.
Yeah, probably. And obviously with guys leaving now and pros, and I don't think they want to give it out at all. Championship for the Browns. This day, 1964, the Browns beat the Baltimore Colts 27-0 to win the NFL championship. That was the last champion for our city until the 2016 Cavs. Gary Collins had 3 touchdown catches, all in the second half from Frank Ryan, because this game was scoreless at halftime. And the Browns put up 27 in the second half to win the championship. This day, 1964. This day, 1953, Detroit beats the Browns 17-16 to win the NFL championship. Doak Walker, the running back, led a touchdown drive for Detroit. Lou Groza had 3 field goals. Detroit was down 16-10 with 4 minutes to play and scored a touchdown. Otto Graham was intercepted on the final drive to end it there for the Browns. At this point in history, 1953, this was the highest payer playout in history for the game. Lions players won $2,400. The Browns got $1,600 for going to the championship as the largest payout ever. This day, 1932, the Radio City Music Hall opens in New York. I don't know what they do now if they don't do the draft there. I have no idea. And this day, 1904, J.M. Barrie's play Peter Pan opens in London this day, 1904. Very happy birthday goes out to Browns legend Nick Chubb, celebrating a birthday today. Lakewood, Ohio's own and former Yankees pitcher Jim Learitz celebrating a birthday. Carson Palmer coming back around. Timothy Chalamet, Haley Williams, and Goldberg.
Timothy Chalamet's gotten quite the run lately.
Didn't he get in trouble for something, or didn't he say something? Or
everybody loves him now.
Oh, good. I haven't watched Dune.
I haven't either.
It's on my list. I've heard good things.
Oh,
what?
Oh,
what?
Odyssey or Odysseus? Oh my God, Christopher Nolan's next film.
Yeah, what about it?
Oh my God, it's gonna be fantastic.
I saw that they were hinting. What, did it just come out?
Well, no, but it comes out in 2026, but he's inventing new IMAX technology for it. It's the greatest film director of all time, in my opinion, Christopher Nolan, and it's one of my favorite topics, as you know, about mythology. That movie's going to be absolutely nuts.
Well,
and it comes out the same year as the Batman Part 2.
I'm excited for you.
Oh, my God.
I just saw something yesterday. They're like, yeah, Christopher Nolan's next movie is something about Odyssey. I know nothing outside of that, so I'm glad you're excited for it.
Well, you know Odysseus. No. Bruh. What do you mean, no?
No, what do you mean?
His voyage from Troy? Like the 10-year span? Bro, that's like the second most famous book in history outside the Bible. Yes.
Nothing.
Wow.
Jack swat nothing for it. I'm glad you're excited for it. good for you.
Thank you.
Christopher Nolan's pretty good. So
Oh,
I
he's
assume
fantastic.
it's going to be great things for you. There it is. I hope great things for the Cavs. Let's go. Parlay
No
time.
movies?
No movies today.
Whoa.
Hang on. I could do a quick search and try to pull some up for you. Oh, I forgot. It's Brock Purdy's birthday today, too.
If there's none, that's fine.
All right, I got a TV show for you.
Okay.
2020. It's a guessing type of show
Okay.
involving a talent.
But Masked Singer.
That is correct.
Oh.
The only other one I got is a movie that I had to watch in school. Came out this day, 2000. It's got an ensemble cast. And it's... Oh, is that the movie I'm thinking of? Wait a minute. That's it. Okay. So it's like, there's like 4 different stories all in this movie.
Okay.
And none of these people actually ever intertwine, but they're all related to the drug trade. It explores the illegal drug trade from several perspectives: the users, the enforcers, the politicians, and the traffickers themselves.
Oh, God.
An ensemble cast of people. That's what I do remember about watching this movie.
Who's in it?
Don Cheadle, Benicio del Toro,
Oh.
Michael Douglas, Luis Guzman, Dennis Quaid, and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Does it start with an M?
No.
Damn it. Does it start with a C?
No.
Damn it. I don't know, though.
Traffic.
Oh.
Traffic. I don't remind, because like I remember watching, because aren't 2 of them like husband and wife?
No
and then
idea.
something happens, and I
Couldn't
can't
tell
remember.
you.
I just remember it being a little bit trippy. I just remember it being a little bit trippy. Like, it is what it is. All right, Cavs, we got to win some money tonight. We spent a lot of money on the holidays. It's time to hit a little parlay. Ryan, I think we've been pretty good about just these little 2-3 leg parlays, getting us up to plus 200, plus 300. Let's see what we got. All right, Cavs are in Denver to take on the Nuggets. Cavs are a 2.5 point road favorite over the Nuggets, okay?
Okay.
Cavs are 12-5 against the spread their last 17 games. We're on the 5-game win streak. But we're only 2-4 against the spread their last 6 games on the road against Denver. But you know how you love your daily ones. We are 6-1 in our last 7 games on a Friday.
Nice.
Like it. Denver 5-2 straight up in their last 7. 8-2 straight up in their last 10 games at home. Denver's coming in. They just lost to Phoenix 110-100. Before that, beat Phoenix. Pelicans. All right. Do you like the Cavs to win?
I like the Cavs to win and another Jokic triple-double.
Okay, I was going to go triple-double too. The over has hit the last 6 games between the Cavs and the Nuggets. I got it at 235.
Okay.
That's pretty high.
That is high.
Offensive ratings for these teams. They score 119 a game. We score 120. They give up 116 a game. We only give up 110.
Okay.
So do you like the over better than the Cavs to win or to cover?
No, I like the Cavs better to win.
Okay. Cavs to cover.
I said win.
Well, what's 2.5?
All right.
You're better off just taking the
Donovan
2.5.
buzzer beater, but
Okay.
you heard it here first.
I like Donovan for 25 tonight.
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah.
And then do you want to go Jokic? Do you just want to go Jokic double-double?
Sure. Play it safe.
That's plus 275.
Oh, there you go.
Cavs cover, Mitchell 25, and Jokic double-double.
Okay.
$3 wins me 12.
There you go.
Done and done on a little boost there. I'll play that out for tonight. So again, late night for the Cavs tonight, but it's 9 o'clock. We'll see how it goes.
I haven't played
It's
this in
been
a while.
long time.
I
Come on, Cavs! Isn't it funny
gotta make it happen.
how numb we have become to the Cavs being so freaking good?
Yeah, dude.
You're just like, yeah, whatever. Like, you've just become so numb to the Cavs being really, really good. It's sad because we don't give them the
All-star
love.
voting. I think it's about
Yeah,
to open,
they-
or it's open now.
I hope they get 3. I think they deserve, because we're just so good. I think it's going to be Garland, Mobley, and Mitchell. I think that'll be it. Mitchell's going for sure. I actually think Evan Mobley's going to go for sure. And then probably Darius Garland. But we'll do a little 3-leg tonight. That'll be nice. So again, double-double there for Jokic, 25 for Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs to win by 3. I like it. We'll Will the Dolphins win by 7? That is the spread for this weekend. It is 6.5 on the side of the Miami Dolphins. I, unfortunately, Ryan, do not see it.
I will be betting the Dolphins to cover that.
They like Cleveland to cover on OddsShark, but Nick Holtz doesn't. Miami's an auto bet against the Browns that have already punted on this season. Dolphins defense is top 10 in most metrics, and they'll be able to shut down Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Dolphins are 9-3 in their last 12 games when they play a team that is a bottom 10 scoring defense, which is what the Browns have. Miami just 6-12 against the spread their last 18 games, but they're 5-2 straight up in their last 7. They actually don't cover against us. They're only 2-7 against the spread their last 9 games against the Browns. Browns 1-6 straight up in their last 7, 1-6 against the spread, just 2-5 against the spread their last 7 at home. I unfortunately have to take Miami. Doesn't mean much, but we'll see how it goes. All right, enjoy the hell out of the weekend. We are back Monday with a major announcement as far as our show goes on Monday, so we'll tell everybody what that is coming back. Enjoy the hell out of the weekend. You got football all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Enjoy it. We'll talk to you on Monday. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.